What if the future of humanity didn't hinge on science or power or wealth, but on something as fragile, as profound, and as overlooked as love? Not romantic love, but the fierce, selfless ethic that urges us to love others as deeply as we love ourselves. In an age where artificial intelligence is evolving faster than we can comprehend, one unsettling question looms. What does it mean to be human when machines outthink us? As AI becomes more intelligent, more capable, and more omnipresent, we must confront a hard truth. Our traditional definitions of human worth may no longer apply. And in this crisis, philosophy, yes, philosophy, might be our last hope. The rise of AI isn't science fiction anymore. It's here. Algorithms write symphonies, compose poetry, diagnose diseases, and now even outperform humans in logical reasoning. We've always valued ourselves by our minds, our ability to solve, to analyze, to compute. But what happens when AI does it better? What happens when the traits we thought made us exceptional become software capabilities? This is where the love ethic takes center stage. It's not an abstract ideal. It's a radical, foundational principle that says every human being has inherent worth, not because of what they can do, but simply because of who they are. The love ethic tells us that human dignity isn't measured in productivity, IQ points, or technological contribution. It is found in our capacity for empathy, our need for connection, our moral imagination, and our commitment to care for one another. AI can simulate love. It can mimic kindness, but it can't feel. It can't choose compassion over convenience or sacrifice over self-interest. And this raw, messy, beautiful complexity is what makes us human. But how do we protect that truth in a world racing toward artificial supremacy? We must return to first principles. We must turn to philosophy. It might sound strange, outdated even. In a society obsessed with speed, efficiency, and results, philosophy seems too slow, too uncertain. But in times of civilizational upheaval, philosophy has always been our guide. Think back to the invention of the printing press or the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. These weren't just technological shifts, they were existential ones. People had to rethink what mattered, what counted, what kind of world they wanted to live in. And that rethinking gave birth to revolutions in ethics, justice, democracy, and freedom. We're at another such crossroads now. But the difference is, AI challenges not just our structures, it challenges our identity. It asks us to re-examine everything. Why do we matter? What gives our lives value if machines can outperform us at nearly every task? The temptation will be to despair, to give up on human uniqueness altogether. But philosophy offers us another path, one that leads not to surrender, but to redefinition. It urges us to stop equating human worth with functionality, to stop reducing ourselves to what we produce. It calls us to dig deeper, to rediscover the sacred in the everyday, the moral significance of simply being human. The love ethic is philosophy applied. It's a way of seeing the world where dignity isn't earned, it's inherent. But this philosophy must be more than words. It must become culture. Because make no mistake, technology doesn't just extend our capabilities, it reshapes our hearts. Social media, once hailed as a tool for connection, has fragmented our relationships, eroded our attention, and intensified our isolation. We scroll endlessly, but we feel more alone than ever. The same pattern is likely to repeat with AI accelerating it. In a world where algorithms curate our reality and machine learning predicts our desires, we risk losing not just our privacy, but our humanity. And yet in this dark horizon, there's a flicker of hope, because crisis always reveals what we've taken for granted. And right now, we're being forced to reckon with a question that's been easy to ignore. What does it mean to truly love others in a digital age? Imagine a future where schools teach not just coding, but compassion, where ethics is not a side note, but the foundation of every innovation, where the measure of progress isn't how intelligent our machines have become, but how much we've grown in empathy, responsibility, and grace. That's not naive, it's necessary. Philosophy doesn't give easy answers, but it asks the right questions. It demands reflection, dialogue, humility. And in doing so, it guards us against the arrogance that technology alone can save us. It reminds us that the most powerful forces in history have never been machines. They've been ideas. Ideas about justice, love, freedom, truth. And every time humanity has faced a seismic shift, it has been our ideas, not our tools, that have determined the outcome. So now we must ask ourselves, what kind of world are we building? Not just in code, but in values. Not just in devices, but in hearts. We must become philosophers again, not in ivory towers, but in everyday life. We must teach our children that wisdom matters more than speed. That presence matters more than performance. That dignity isn't up for debate, even when machines seem more useful. Because ultimately, no matter how advanced AI becomes, it cannot hold your hand when you grieve. It cannot look into your eyes and see your soul. It cannot choose love over fear. Only we can do that. And so the burden and beauty of being human rests not in our logic, but in our love. This is the challenge. This is the opportunity. As AI rises, so must we, but not in competition. In conscience. The question isn't whether AI will change the world. It already has. The real question is whether we will let it change us, and if so, how? Will we allow our humanity to shrink to the dimensions of a machine? Or will we let it expand into something wiser, kinder, more courageous than ever before? That's the journey we're on. And philosophy rooted in the love ethic may be our only compass. So yes, hope for humanity does rely on philosophy, not as a luxury, but as a lifeline. Because in a world where machines can do everything, only philosophy can remind us